Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I have brought to you some very useful combat tips that everyone should know to make their gameplay better and avoid any potential mistakes that I personally made. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. First and foremost, read. Yes, just read. I can't emphasize on how much important reading is. Like I didn't know Chahi could do this unless I read her skills. It gives us an in-depth understanding whether it is a character, a weapon, or an artifact set. So yeah, make sure to read everything. It lets you know how you can play a character. Another advantage of reading is that you can level up the right skills. I can't put it in words how much I regret leveling up skills without reading. Like for Jinwoo, I didn't know she could reset her skill cooldowns and spam them. So by that logic, leveling up her E and Q would be the best. But the ultra noob, leveled up her most useless skill, her normal attacks. I just want to use a time machine, go back in time and smack myself in the head. Leveling the support skills of hunters is also a good option as you will be using it with Jinwoo. The same goes with Jinwoo. Level up the skills that you are going to use. So with this, you might also have a question which skill to equip. As you level up, you unlock variety of skills, so it might be overwhelming for new players on which skill to equip. Against bosses with guards, you need to equip skills that will help you break. Crushing Blow, Multi-Strike, and Death Stance, all these three skills provide different variations of break damage. In general, all these three have wide coverage when equipped with different runes. Some of them add special buff or debuffs or interact with other skills. Out of the three skills, Multi-Strike and Death Dance feel the most impactful. You can use two break skills against bosses that need break, or if you have enough break. You can make a combination of one break skill and a damage dealing skill. Vertical Arts is great as it increases the damage against enemies in break state by 70%, which is huge. It's good to have at least one guard break skill equipped all the time for convenient access to breaking. For bosses without any guard, I use the skills that will help me maximize my damage. Double Slash, Mutilate, and Cutting Rush are the most universal ones. You can read their descriptions and see what suits you the best. I usually use the Commander's Touch as my second skill as it has high damage, and also provides group capabilities which is amazing against multiple enemies. As you unlock more runes, each skill will start to synergize with other skills, so you can match such skills and use them. And lastly, for the ultimate, use Truth, Mutilate. While we are talking about skills, I will also cover the ultimate evasion. This is extremely important as the ultimate evasion triggers Jinwoo's QTE skill, Shadow Step. This skill slows the enemies and decreases the defense of enemies by 60%, which is a lot. It's like Raiden Shogun C2. You will know if you have played Genshin. And for the hunters, it helps to trigger their QTE skills. Triggering ultimate evasion can be difficult. However, if you have noticed, there's visual cue that helps us to perform ultimate evasion quite easily. However, it happens only when enemies perform attack that has a red AoE warning. For ultimate evading their normal attacks, you will need to depend on your own skills. Let's move on to team building. Starting with Jinwoo's team building, if you are up against an enemy with guard, I recommend at least one character that can help you break their guards. Here I am using Jinwoo. Her skill provides a medium break, which is good for breaking guards, and what I like about her is that she also gives us shield, which absorbs damage. Emma Laurent is also an amazing character for break. She increases defense and recovers HP, gives defense penetration, and also increases fire damage. Lin Taeju is also a great character from breaking, and additionally, he gives core attack damage increase. Baekuno has some great break potential and increases defense, aiding in survival. Nam Chae-young is an amazing SR rank character for break, as she can also freeze the enemies providing CC. Woo Jinchul, we will get him for free from the daily check-in event, also has a break skill and additionally gives extra dashes for more mobility. There are many other good SR characters as well that can help with breaking shields. Here we have Jinwoo. Despite his D rank, he is a great character for breaking shields and also drops a potion that can be picked up to restore HP. He gives buffs and shields if you get advancements on him. Kim Chul is an amazing character as he also gives a huge shield. Hwang Dong-suk, Anna Ruiz are some other SR characters with break skill. You can read the hunter skills and use the one that you think will fit your team better. For example, if you need survival, you can use Kim Chul for the shield. Also take their advancements into consideration. You can check the passive details to read their advancements. And for the other slots, you can use a second break character if you want to break shields faster or use supports, healers, or damage dealers. Chahyun is amazing as she deals huge damage and also has this buff called Brand. What it does is it increases your crit rate and crit damage by 12. She also prevents enemies from recovering HP. Min Byung-gu is amazing as a healer plus buffer. He is currently the best support in the game. He increases the damage taken by the enemies by 15%. But he is much more impactful in Hunter's team as most of his buffs are locked behind his ultimate skill. Healing is just a nice quality of life and not necessary. So instead you can go for offensive supports like Choi Jong-in, who has very high damage and decreases target's defense by 15%. Park Hee-jin is one of the best supports in the game. She brings a lot of utility to the team as she increases ultimate damage and cleanses debuffs. Hwang Dong-soo is good against enemies with shields as he can easily remove them. So yeah, you can just read the character skills and use the one that fits your team. If the enemy doesn't have any break gauge, that doesn't make the guard breakers useless, as they also have good personal damage and additional buffs, but you can replace them if you have better replacements. For example, you can switch Jinwoo with Lee Bora for grouping enemies and her buff that increases damage taken by the enemies. But you need to take into consideration that you are trading shield with more damage. Also, do take note of the character's elements and weakness of bosses, as some bosses are weak to some elements and have increased resistance to some elements. Each hunter has their own perks and are great depending on the situations, which you will know when you read their skills. Before we start with hunter team building, I would like to quickly mention on how to know which boss has a break gauge and other buffs or debuffs. I should have mentioned this right at the beginning, but I forgot to do that and only realized when I have already edited half of the video. So I will put this here. Before starting a challenge, you can always check the bottom left side for boss details. It will show everything you need to know, whether the boss has a break gauge, shield, any debuffs, elemental resistance, and elemental weaknesses. Now let's move on to hunter team building. The hunter team building is quite similar to Jinwoo's team building. Here you will need a DPS. Chahyun is currently the best DPS in the game. Silver main Baek-Yun-ho, Choi Jong-in are one of the best DPS characters in the game. Emma Laurent is a great all-rounder due to her supporting, breaking, and damage dealing capabilities. Seo Jiwoo can stay on field for a long time, while also breaking the guards of the bosses and providing shields. Hwang Dong-soo is also a good DPS with the ability to remove armor, which makes him one of the best options against bosses with armors. Lin Taeju is a good DPS, but can be difficult to play. Kang Ki-shik is a great DPS for a SR character. And for the other two slots, you will be using supports. Sub-DPS are characters to help you break guards if you are up against bosses with guards. Baek-Yun-ho is the best breaker in the game. All his skills is break. Seo Jiwoo, Emma Laurent, Lim Taeju, Nam Chae-young are amazing characters for breaking shields with many other utilities. Woo Jin-chul, Kim Chol, Yu Jin-ho, Wang Dong-suk, Anna Ruiz are some other decent characters with good breaking capabilities. For supports, Min Byung-gu is the best support in the game. He just provides so many buffs and incredible damage increase. Park Hee-jin is also amazing for an SR character. She gets better with advancements. Lee Bora is a great off-field support DPS. As you progress in the game, Jinwoo will be able to unlock dual weapons. Your first weapon will be your primary damage dealing weapon. Demonic Plume, the Huntsman, West Wind, Demon King's Longsword, Moonshadow, Shadow Scythe, Raideru family's Longbow are some strong DPS weapons. Kisaka's Venom Fang, Naga Guardian Dragon's Trident are also decent DPS weapons. And for the second slot, I recommend a supportive weapon. My personal favorite is the Thetis Grimoire, as it can deal high damage and freezes the enemies, making your gameplay comfortable. The Demon King's Longsword provides shield and some crowd control by immobilizing the targets. It further increases attack by 8% and deals damage over time, which is amazing. Orb of Avarice is an SR weapon, is a very strong option from some quick burst damage. As you can see, it has very high multipliers, and its weapon passive increases this damage further. The Huntsman is good for break and quick damage. So yeah, read the weapons descriptions and use the right weapon depending on the boss weakness and situation. SSR weapons are not always the best because some SR weapon with advancements can outperform them. Also take into consideration the weakness of bosses. For example, if the boss has water weakness, you may want to use the Thetis Grimoire as your main weapon. Now let's move on to Hunter's weapons. Unlike Jinwoo's weapon, we cannot get SSR Hunter weapons from the banners. You need to craft them, which requires some rare mats. However, you can still get SR rank weapons from the banners, but it can be difficult to acquire them. Also, the SR rank weapons are just an upgraded version of the R rank weapons and have higher base stats. However, the R rank weapons when max refined provide double the bonus from their passive than an SR weapon without any advancement. And they provide additional bonuses when you give them dimensional advancements. So it's not a bad idea to refine the R rank weapons and use them on the hunters. For example, this R rank book is good for support characters that always need to use their ultimate. Don't invest too highly on these for now, just level them enough to clear the contents. You are also getting Cha-Hee-In's signature weapon for free from the current event, so it's better to hold back from leveling any attack weapons. Moving on to the artifacts. Well, on early game, we don't have access to many artifact sets, so you better not stress on this, but here are some general early game best sets for each role. We get a free 5-star artifact set of memorabilia, which increases attack at 2-piece and the 4-piece ignores target's defense. This is great for DPS characters, so go ahead and use this as a whore on Jinwoo and your DPS hunter depending on which type of team you are using in the early game. As you progress, you will be able to farm a lot more artifacts, so in such situations you need to prioritize the stats. For example, on Cha-Hee-In, who is an attack scaling character, you will want to get an attack helmet and look for crit stats and attack percent from its substats. I will make a detailed guide on the artifacts soon as there's a lot to cover. The hard leather artifact set is an amazing DPS set because it provides a lot of crit stats. 8% crit rate and 32% crit damage. And for characters that capitalize on basic attacks, the Dragon Knight set will be the best for them. For supports, Holy set is easily accessible early game. It is great for buffing your main DPS as it increases the attack of the whole team. The high-ranking Demon set is an amazing set. What it does is increases power gauge acquisition rate of the user, and at 4-piece it instantly charges 50% of their power gauge, and increases the whole team's power gauge charging rate by 20%. This is amazing for characters that want to use their burst often like Min Byung-gu, while also providing team-wide buff. But it is accessible only in the mid-game. So in general, each set provide different types of effects, so use them depending on your character. And for the artifact levels, I recommend only leveling the high-ranking artifact, purple or above, and only the ones that have desired substats. The other 4 slots of artifact are unlocked as you level up. The artifacts that can be used here are obtained from the instance dungeon. Let's move on to Jinwoo's stat allocation. I will keep it short since I have covered this in detail in my separate video. You can check it out. If you guys didn't know, you can reset the stats using 25,000 coins. Basically give around 80 points to precision and then dump everything into strength. And lastly, here's a general combat tip. You can set the combat to auto, semi, and manual, and the QTE skills of the hunters while using Jinwoo can also be set to auto. Well, keeping the combat in auto is not the best idea unless you are up against some easy enemies. Against difficult enemies, it is recommended to keep it on manual. For new players, using skills of Jinwoo and QTE of hunters simultaneously can be a bit overwhelming, so you can keep the combat on manual and the hunter switch to auto. But for mid or late game, try to use both on manual. To make aiming your skills better, make sure to lock your enemies by pressing the right click, or for mobile there will be a button for auto lock. Let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful. If you got any more tips, don't hesitate to share them. Make sure to like the video and help my video rank better by sharing it and commenting down below. I will be making more solo leveling videos, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.